memo author John Yoo. They admit it's illegal, but you've got immunity to order people to rape children. I mean, that's what they did at these bases.
Yes, and that's something they won't let out either.
And now, if you're not for raping children in front of their parents, you're not a good American. That's the patriotism now.
It's completely upside down.
What's your take on that, Chris?
I think we need to take our communities back, and then you get your counties and your states. And once the states get the strength, and the federal government or proposed whoever the criminal cabal is going to realize they're going to have their hands full. This is not going to work. Not here in the United States. It may work in third world countries or overseas, but we have to have a sense of pride. We've got to step up to the plate and do what's right.
By the way, what was happening in Oklahoma? Same thing with the Agenda 21 being thrown out, states' rights movement. We were in the exact same climate, but this time we've got 10 times the power. That's the globalists. I hope they miscalculate. Explain where we were in 95 versus now. That goes back to what you were just saying, Chris, and what Holland was saying.
Actually, in early 1995, late 1994, the Oklahoma State Legislature passed a resolution against the New World Order. There was a gradual waking up in the 1990s across the country that has been reflected in some of the political processes at work, especially in Oklahoma.
And they had 15 other states about to pass it as well, and the feds bombed it and blamed it on talk radio and anti-UN people. Chris? We're right there. They're getting ready to do it again.
And, of course, as Craig Roberts said in the movie, that the last people that would blow up the building would be the militia. Those are the folks that are actually guarding the people's rights. They have no reason to kill children and innocent people. And as we found out through all the evidence and all of the documents, the Justice Department's own documents, it was an inside rogue element of the United States government that planned this and carried it off.
Same ones that did Fast and Furious. I mean, the same ones.
Exactly, by name. Eric Holder, Attorney General of the United States, now responsible for enforcing laws of the land, was directly involved in the Oklahoma City bombing cover-up, and he later runs Fast and Furious, which kills 2,000 people.
But, I mean, Chris, can you feel the energy level building? I mean, they're getting ready.
I can, and it's especially from the first responders and people coming to us after this movie was released. They realized that there's something horribly wrong here. It took 17 years to get this movie out and the truth to kind of turn the corner. But they're asking questions now. They're saying, "What should we do?" I mean,
because you got the cops talking about the bombs in the buildings, and the cops getting threatened to shut up, and the grand jurors, and the lady in HUD seeing them plant the bombs. I mean, this is unbelievable.
I really want to let your listeners know we don't advocate illegal, and as you do, everything has to be above board and legal. But there are a lot of things that you can do. Number one, get your rights back on a local level, and that's going to have a lot more strength than a lot of people think. And then you go to the county and the state. And once you get your state's rights, then you pretty much have a good blockade against the federal government.
I agree, because that's something they can't counter. They can deal with this on the national political scene. They're used to that, but on a local scene everywhere, that's something they can't really.
Once we know the country's been hijacked by enemies, and this isn't the government, it's over. Just listen to nothing they say. They're criminals. Go look at the evidence. And then just stop listening. It's Tokyo Rose. It's the enemy telling us that George Washington is bad. I have the feds in their manuals and on video denigrating the Founding Fathers. They are the enemy, period.
Exactly. The mainstream media has jumped on board with the globalists. They have, so they work for them. So
I mean, this sounds like North Koreans would come up with this. They're the enemy. They call us extremists. They're extreme criminals. And we're coming for you. I mean, it's over. It's over. Forget the maneuvers, go straight at them. What do you say to that?
I say we do it. We have nothing to lose but our freedom, and I'm not losing my freedom.
That's right. That's right. Commit, 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 and it's over. We have the moral authority. We have God on our side. Right. We're in our final segment. Going to jam in some phone calls right now, and then I'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern. We kick off the transmission. You can always listen at Infowars.com or get the free podcast right there. I want to go to some phone calls here in just a moment. But I have an image here if you're watching us on prisonplanet.tv that a listener mailed us. We get a lot of stuff in the mail where it shows the emperor's new clothes. And it shows the emperor, he's naked. And a child starts laughing, so everybody else starts laughing. And that's how it is with our so-called government and these criminals that have hijacked it. We just need to recognize the emperor is butt naked, and then they'll stop parading around in front of us. Gentlemen, any comments on that?
I think so. I mean, it's all based on consumer confidence as long as we stand up to them. The fact that the mainstream media does not give our movement any validation is no reason to not put forth all of our efforts. The fact that they are ignoring...
When the crooks we know screwing everything up are saying we're the bad people, no, that's the certification we're right.
Exactly. We have to stand up and call a spade a spade. Even if the mainstream media is not going to do it, we as the alternative media have to do it. Let them work themselves into obsolescence by not following...
Which they've done a pretty good job of. Now they're like, okay, censor and arrest people. I mean, they're now going to the desperation phase.
Wow.
Listen, I got photos right here, and I went and checked it myself and watched the White House feed of it at the White House. He had a few thousand people Obama did at his kickoff. Romney has nobody. This is all just made up. It's
comical almost when you see Romney go out there and there's like 20 geriatric people taking a nap at one of his rallies. There's no enthusiasm. They're not even trying. I mean, the Republicans are not even trying with Romney. It's become comical, I think.
And now they admit that the first states Paul won, but they had to steal him to make it look like he wasn't winning. I mean, and that's a minor footnote. Oh, yeah, we stole it. Move along. Both paid for by Goldman Sachs, Mitt Romney and Barack Obama. Let's go to some phone calls here. Eric in Kansas, then Mike, Steve, and Edward. Eric, thanks for holding. Welcome.
Thank you, Alex. How are you today, sir?
Good. You're on the air with the producers of A Noble Lie, exposing the inside job of Oklahoma City. Go ahead.
Well, you guys, way to go on that movie. I saw it. Way to go. I just got a comment and a question. My comment first is that I think, well, I'm an African-American. I grew up in Kansas, small town. It's very easy to look at everything from the outside when you grow up in that type of environment, but at the same time, I lost family. You know, I've lost my brother, he's in the Navy, lost my sister when I was young. My mom's gone also, so I can relate to the pain of losing people. But the thing is I can also relate that type of pain to our entire country because I care about people just like you guys do. That's why we care and why we do what we do anyway. So, the short of that is that I think that a good way that we can help is to try to get people to understand that we are under chemical attack. The reason why people can't wake up and understand what's going on is because they don't know that fluoride is keeping...
No, it's on record, and not just fluoride. There's been a 4-fold increase in kids on Ritalin the last decade, a new article out. Great points. Appreciate your calls. Comments on that?
I think that's something we definitely cannot neglect, is that we are under chemical assault. It's not just propaganda. It's not just that we've grown soft. We are under direct chemical assault.
Well, when the globalists came to take over America, they did it at every level.
Exactly. And you can see that with the responses of people in other countries, how they respond to corruption is much different from people in this country who just basically do nothing.
The American Pediatric Society came out 2 weeks ago and said, it's normal to have convulsions. The shots are going to give you convulsions now. And so and it's like, it's time for brain damage. It's normal. You won't talk again. It's getting worse. I mean, it's getting really weird.
Yeah, and it's like when we make fun of the Romans for drinking water out of lead pipes. Well, I mean, we're doing much worse things than that.
It is crazy. I mean, we are living in la-la land.
Whatever happened, 1960s, 1970s, we never had to deal with this stuff. We were kids. We grew up. Everything was pretty much...
No, now you get a shot, have a convulsion, never talk again. That's freedom.
I've never heard of that. It was
time to have a convulsion. Come on. Let's take another call. Mike in Ohio, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, first-time caller. Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear, brother.
All right, hey, I was with a friend the other day, and he wanted to know about Bohemian Grove, and I didn't have time to show him the full documentary, so I popped on that History Channel thing. I can't imagine how angry you were at the end of that when they were like, oh, there's nothing weird or nefarious.
Well, you know why? They got arrested, and, of course, I escaped. I mean, they're chasing him and telling him to stop. I didn't stop. I just jumped in the river. And then they had all this footage of them trying to get me and everything because they had boats out there. Dynamic stuff, believe it. I never even saw it. I, swam into the woods, got away, walked 2 miles down to where I told my guy, already get out of here in case something happens. I met him at another point and got out of there. Turned out our cover had been blown. Locally, they had spies. But at the theater we were getting interviewed at, I mean, I knew when we left, the guy goes, don't worry, even though I work there, I won't call them. And I was like, yeah. And I told them they're going to be waiting on us. But, yeah, that History Channel thing was pretty wild.
I know, that was crazy. I had another comment. A guy called in about a week ago with an idea for that shirt, the Obama-Bush 2013 Cellmates. You got to make that. I would buy that in a heartbeat. That's hilarious.
Or Romney, Obama Cellmates. I mean, Romney's done plenty of stuff with the big banks he's worked with. So there you go. Appreciate those points. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the social network so that when they throw us all in the re-education camps, we'll all know each other's names. We'll be friends already.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm not going to any re-education camp where some potbelly TSA who's been dreaming about raping kids rapes my kids. Have you seen all the pedophile charges they're getting? I mean, what a group of just scum.
They're not even passing background checks. I guess they stopped doing them.
No. They now want to hire criminals. They want to hire pedophiles.
I have no doubt.
I mean, who else wants to grab children all day? And the joke is, anytime you got a good-looking wife, it's over. I mean, they're keeping us safe, though. And now they're on the highways randomly keeping us safe. What are you going to do when the TSA pulls you over and says, I'm going in your pants? What did one of them tell me? They said, it's my administrative right.
Oh, I guess they learned that in class because I never heard of an administrative right before.
Well, they're God, and they've told Congress go to, Hades. So, hey, go ahead, sir.
Take their name, their badge number, and tell them you're going to sue them in a civil court.
Exactly, but it's not even a badge number. They're not even sworn It's over, folks. If you don't stand up, it's over. Steve in Texas, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Watchdog Jones. Holland and Chris, thank you guys so much for your great work. You guys are just incredible. I cannot thank you enough for the great work with the Noble Lie.
It's a hard stomach punch right to the New World Order.
Thank you, sir.
Amen, brother. A long time no talk to, Alex. You truly are the bellows of freedom, fanning the brush fires of liberty, my friend. Great job.
Well, thank you. I just don't want these scum to put me in a re-education camp. I mean,
You and me both, my friend. You and I met way back when you and Jesse were filming on Lake Austin to get some B-roll footage at one of my properties I ran. So you and I have stayed in contact.
Oh yeah, me and Governor Ventura. Yeah. I left my favorite black shirt there, and never came back to get it. You know that management property? I left it in the bathroom.
Well, I'm sure one of our.
I bet it's still 2 years later in the lost and found. I've been too lazy to go over there. Must not have been too much of my favorite shirt, but
it might still be in the bathroom. Probably no.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be brief, guys. I just wanted to call with some good news. I just came back. My family and I just came back from the rally at the Texas Capitol today, and it was absolutely incredible. There must have been at least 5,000 or 6,000 people there. And Holland and Chris, you guys brought up a very good point earlier when you talked about how the best way to take things back is to start on the local level and to work our way up and start with that kind
there
of
are Ron Paul, InfoWars type candidates running everywhere.
Let me tell you, Alex, number one, the turnout was phenomenal, and obviously it was Ron and Rand Paul were both there today. But everywhere you looked, there was signs for Laura Presley, the gal that you had on your show that's running for city council here. There were signs for Richard Mack everywhere. Of course,
no, it's happening. We're out of time. Gentlemen, comments on that?
It is happening. In Oklahoma, Charles Key is running for county clerk, and we have a Ron Paul guy, Darrell Searles, running for county sheriff in Oklahoma County. So this is happening, and I think that if we can get those two very honest men into office to clean up town, if we can do it in Oklahoma County, we can do it all over. And those some of the most crucial offices are the office of sheriff and county clerk, because you basically control all the purse strings.
Well said. Let's jam in one more. Edward in Michigan, only got about a minute.
Yeah, Alex, sorry to call back on the same topic, but I got cut off last week. We were talking about the Illuminati formula to create a totally undetected mind controlled slave.
Sure.
That is you can see that whole book at the Whale website, and I had a couple other points. When you do the net community, are you going to have kind of local areas where...
Yes, that's my plan. You create a group, and everybody can organize. Awesome. I appreciate your point on that. A Noble Lie, Oklahoma City, 1995, available. Discounted at Infowars.com. When you get at Infowars.com, you support our broadcast, our transmission, but you also get an Evil Citizen rulebook free at Infowars.com. Bumper stickers. Gentlemen, everybody's got to see this so that when the globalists stage the next terror attack, or it might stop them from doing it, and pose as saviors, our people, just like the... Kurt Haskell, the underwear bombing, he was there watching, got it out that the feds got him on board. Later, that actually came out to be true. Our people are everywhere when the foreign banks have their terrorists stage terror attacks to pose as saviors. What do you say to that?
Exposing the false flag tool robs it of its power, and that was the ultimate goal of the movie. More so than to expose Oklahoma City, was to rob this tool of its power and show it to the...
Yes, Chris and Holland, great job. See you all back tomorrow. Great job, crew. God bless you all. Fight the terrorist.